Apologies for the mess. I had company over last night.
I can see that.
If it makes you uncomfortable, you could wait outside while I...
No, it's fine.
You're very convincing, Doctor.
I'm sorry, it's just that seeing it is different than...
Of course. Let me, move the rug.
Thank you. So, what's going on?
It's Oathkeeper. He's... stronger, angrier, hungrier, I don't know. Life doesn't sustain me the way that it used to. Oh, don't look at me like that. You're safe here.
Tell that to the last guy.
If I wanted to talk to the last guy, I probably wouldn't have killed him.
You're hilarious. Let me see your arm.
Your dad would have laughed at my jokes.
My dad had a horrible sense of humor.
He was a good man.
He did his best. The lock is still intact, but the ward is getting weaker.
You reapplied the ward 5 years ago.
I know. It's concerning.
How concerning?
How long have you had Oathkeeper trapped in your arm? 30 years?
Closer to 50.
Very concerning. Do you know how the warding actually works?
Just the basics. Your father described it as a puzzle box that Oathkeeper would be compelled to open. And that the more focus and energy he exerts unraveling the ward, the less he has to make demands of me.
Well, after 50 years, it looks like Oathkeeper got better at multitasking.
So build a better ward.
I can't.
Oh, pity. I don't maintain relationships with useless people.
I thought I was safe here.
And I thought you were good at your job. We both made mistakes.
I can't tell if you're joking.
Do you want to find out? Or would you rather just propose a solution?
There might be some alternatives.
And I can't wait to hear them. Tell me you have good news.
I have news. How good is relative?
You're very glib today.
Well, we're in a public place, so I figured I'd live on the edge.
What did you learn about Oathkeeper?
The notes Dad kept on him were meticulous. I still haven't fully digested everything, but there's a promising option emerging.
Go on.
Oathkeeper wasn't named ironically. That thing is like the patron saint of Faustian bargains. So while I'm sure he's pissed that you trapped him for 50 years, there's probably a part of him that's impressed.
So what's the promising option?
I just told you.
I want to make sure I understand. The ward is failing.
Yes.
And there's nothing that you, me, or a minor act of God can do to change that.
Correct.
But I should be encouraged by the fact that I tricked Oathkeeper into bondage.
Exactly.
Out of respect for your father, I'll let you finish that horrid cup of coffee before I kill you.
I don't think you're seeing the big picture.
As soon as the ward fails, I'm as good as dead.
Possibly.
Possibly? For 5 decades, Oathkeeper's had nothing to do but stew on what it can do to me when he's free. Do you know what 50 years worth of revenge look like?
I don't. And that's why you have a chance. Oma, you are a uniquely cruel woman, and Oathkeeper has to respect that on some level. That thing lives to make deals. So make it another one.
I have no leverage. Why would he... Oh my God. Of course. He doesn't know how close he is to breaking free, does he?
I don't think so.
Well then, that changes things, doesn't it?
Lady Geist. You've been a busy woman.
I made a promise.
Ah, so now you remember.
I never forgot. And I decide who gets to die.
Of course. A guest doesn't get to be picky about the meal they're served.
And how often will I?
Well, that all depends. Life is bought with life. The better the quality, the more time you have.
So all lives aren't equal.
If you honestly believe they were, we wouldn't be talking. Now, do we have a deal?
I fed you plenty.
And yet not nearly enough. Your binding of me
And showed favorable terms.
was against the spirit of the bargain. And when I am free of this prison, you will answer for it.
Oh, I believe you. But you will be waiting for a very long time, my friend. Unless
What?
Unless you're interested in making a deal.
I'm listening. Exquisite Geist.
See? I'm a woman of my word.
You exaggerate.
Please, I'm paying you back with interest. How much were they worth?
2 months.
So are 3 of them.
Yes, but they were so pedestrian.
At this rate, I'll have to kill off half the island to satisfy you.
What a lovely thought.
We need an alternative.
What do you have in mind?
The Maelstrom. With all the spirits and rituals and whatnot, there has to be a way to improve the exchange rate or something.
Seek the blessing of the patrons.
Okay.
You want to appease me without a massacre? Fight on my behalf. Summon the patron and earn their favor. Do this, and we can be free of each other. I'll find a new host, and you will get to live out your natural life with no strings attached.
No strings. We know how that worked for both of us before.
A boon from the patron is more powerful than either of us. It's the only way to ensure we both get what we want.
Very well.
Lady Geist, through your will I am here. What would you ask of your patron?
Peace. This dance with Oathkeeper needs to end. Free me of his influence, and let us all walk away prosperously.
Very well.
And so our business is concluded.
So it would seem.
Are you going to kill me?
Why would I? The nightmares of what you've done for the past 50 years will torment you far longer than any misery I inflict.
You're joking, aren't you?
Of course I am. I know you, Jeanne. You'll sleep like a baby. It's why you're one of my favorites.
Am I now?
Humanity is so predictable. And while I took no joy in being put on a leash, it at least was something different.
So what now? We go our separate ways?
Indeed. And pray whomever I make a bargain with in the future doesn't have a grudge against you.
Well then, perhaps I'll see you sooner than either of us think.
Safe travels, Lady Geist.
May you find a host far less enterprising than myself.
I'm sure I will.
Now boarding flight 3131 to Paris.
That's your flight, Oma.
Thank you for your help. You're very much your father's son.
That means a lot. Oh, don't forget your bag.
Oh, that's for you, darling. I know I haven't been an easy patient.
I don't know what to say.
Say thank you and waste it on something impractical.
Thank you. Hey, Oma, I forgot to ask. What are you planning on doing in Europe anyway?
For the past 50 years, I've survived on death. I'm ready to go live.